Here's what happened last time on Incredible Critics. So I went to the movies this week and saw The Greatest Showman, Zac Efron and Wolverine. So I was happy with Wolverine, but it was a lot of fun.
That's actually how they're billed in the credits.
Yes,
Zac Efron, Wolverine.
Just a lot of stuff just made up about P.T. Barnum. As long as that doesn't bother you.
Like he wasn't Wolverine? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, like he
didn't have claws.
At one point he had claws. and I was like, this doesn't seem right.
Makes a good musical, though.
It's a great musical.
We are the Incredible Critics. Incredible not because we're great, but because our credibility should seriously be questioned. I am Ben Franco. This week is a weird one. This week, somehow, Tim, Frankie, and I all had different schedules. None of us were able to find time when we would be able to be together to discuss latest happenings in movies and TV and whatnot. So instead, we each recorded our bits separately with different people talking about different things. Tim reviews Peter Rabbit with his 3 daughters, and Frankie discusses the latest movie with Denzel Washington, Roman J. Israel Esquire, of which he has an Academy Award nomination for. They may talk about other things, but I honestly haven't listened to all of it, so that'll be new for me too. But first, I just wanted to give a quick review for The Greatest Showman, the latest musical from Hugh Jackman. As far as I'm concerned, Hugh Jackman can just come out with musicals for the rest of his career, and everyone will be happy. The Greatest Showman has its flaws. It's not a perfect movie. I could have done with some more practical effects as opposed to CGI, but it is a really, really fun movie. It's not the greatest musical, but it is a fun story. It's gotten some criticism for maybe not being historically accurate, so I just look at it as a piece of fiction rather than historically correct. But it's a really, really fun movie. I really enjoyed it. It's well worth seeing. The one thing that was kind of odd in our showing was that they had this thank you from the director and Hugh Jackman for people coming to see it in the theaters. I'm not sure. I know Frankie saw it, but I'm not sure if he had that in his theater as well. It was just a little weird. It seemed a little desperate. Like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to the movies. It was just odd. It was a bad look in my opinion, but the movie overall was really good. It might be, I wouldn't necessarily rush out to see it in the theaters, though it certainly deserves that. But at least, once it comes out on video or streaming, definitely pick that up. Anyway, next I will kick it over to Frankie and Dave. I think it's Dave. Hopefully it's Dave. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Not Dave, but I think it's Dave. To discuss their movies and TV shows, maybe. ? See you guys.
My name's Frankie Fusco. Ben and Tim are not with me today. There's a dog in the background. I'm not sure if anybody else can hear that. It's a very loud dog. Ben and Tim are not with me today. They actually are in South Korea competing in the couples ice dancing. Yeah, the couples ice dancing finals tonight. So if everyone can give them a good tweet or a message on Facebook wishing them good luck, or congratulations, I guess by the time you guys hear this, we'll know. But they are one of 3 U.S. teams that could medal tonight. So good luck, Ben and Tim. Miss you guys. Joining me today, though, is a coworker and a friend of mine, Dave Millman. Dave, how's it going, man?
It's going good. How are you?
Doing great. Dave and I know each other from when I worked at Staples, which I no longer work at. I actually just got a job with Sunbelt Rentals, with a construction rental equipment company. And I am reporting to you from a distant location. I'm no longer in Pennsylvania. Well, at least not for the next 2 months. I'm here in New York, Long Island. My roots back here, with the great food and the horrible traffic and the angry people. Here for 6 weeks doing training. So set up a mini studio here. It's working out, I guess. Okay. We'll see when we get to listen to it. But how's everything going, Dave, man? What's new?
Nothing new. Congrats on the new job.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate it. It's day 2 for me. and it's been fun so far. But those are always the good days of work. They normally give you like a week, and then all of a sudden you hate it, like every other job. But Dave, you listen to our podcast weekly, don't you?
I do.
So congratulations on getting to actually be on here. That's pretty impressive.
I know. I'm not going to be able to live up to Ben and Tim, but thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, now that they're Olympians and they're probably going to have medals, yeah, it's going to be hard for any of us to live up to them, but we do what we can. We are going to talk about a few different things today. We're going to do a spoiler-free small review of Black Panther. I know Tim saw it, I saw it, and I know Tim wants to talk about it, but since it didn't come out this week and break a whole bunch of records, we want to talk about it. And we're also going to talk about I'm sorry, I keep forgetting the name of the movie that you saw, Dave, that apparently it sounds like something Ben would want to see, but it's called what?
Roman J. Israel Esquire.
Roman J. Israel Esquire. That is the movie with Denzel Washington that he got a Oscar nom for, right?
Yes, correct.
Gotcha. So we're going to talk about that, and then we have a special at the end of the show review of Peter Rabbit by Tim's children. So that's actually it's actually pretty funny. So we'll get into all that real quick before we get into our reviews. Let's do a 5-word review of those two movies. So if you want to go first about Roman J. Esquire, give me 5 words that you think sums it up.
It was better than Dunkirk.
And that's why we're friends, Dave. It's a very low bar, but it's a bar nonetheless. We're gonna go with Black Panther, James Bond, Spider-Man, Baby. Yeah, think about that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. That's kind of my thought process on it. Let's go into a segment that Ben likes to call "What's On." Ben, key the really bad music right here. Okay, talking about what's on. Let's go. Why don't you tell me about Franklin J. Esquire the Third or whatever, Denzel Washington's movie.
Roman J. Israel
J.
Esquire.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was close. There was an Esquire in there.
I'll tell a little bit. I don't want to give it away.
Did he start Esquire magazine that we just read the review from?
No,
not different Esquire.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So basically, he is a lawyer, a savant lawyer, who's very heavily into civil rights. And basically how the movie starts off was a person that was actually going into court and all that. He was behind the scenes type of lawyer, but the guy was going to court passed away. So his income ran out. So he went to a big law firm, and they realized how smart this guy was and how he memorized basically all the law books and stuff like that. And it kind of goes into where he wasn't about money, how he got into money, and it just takes off from there. Like he did some stuff that was shady to one of his clients that passed away, and the movie kind of goes into the direction he goes to. He tries to find himself back into the civil rights. Don't want to give it all away because it kind of spoils it.
I mean, okay, we can say spoilers, and then people, if you don't want to find out about Roman J. Esquire, you don't have to. Well, yeah, maybe people might want to listen. We won't let you spoil it. That's fine.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it because he's up for an Oscar on this. So
this is true. I don't think he's going to win because he's up against a lot of other movies that have won a lot of other awards. Because it hasn't won a single award yet, right? It has a lot of nominations.
No, I haven't seen anything.
It hasn't won anything. So we'll see. But Denzel Washington's won before. I just don't see him winning again right now, especially since what's his name? It's his last movie. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? Ben loves him. The guy who was Lincoln. But anyway,
Daniel
Day-Lewis last movie. That's right. Yeah, there you go. So we'll see. So you'd recommend it?
I would, yes. My wife and I both watched it.
Can we wait for it to come on Netflix?
I would wait. Yeah, I would wait. It's out of the theaters right now, but I would definitely wait.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. And have you seen Black Panther? Because that's what we're going to talk about, and that's what everyone wants to talk about. Even though everyone who claims to not like superhero movies, besides me and Tim, we know you listen, guys. It's the closet. It's in the you're in the closet about it, but it's okay. We all know you love superhero movies, and they're the best part about this podcast. And super excited right now for this segment.
No, I have not. I want to see it this weekend. I'm excited about it. I'm a comic nerd. I read a lot of comic books, so when I watch a lot of these movies, I kind of get upset when it kind of veers away from the comic. So I do want to see this.
Did you read any Black Panther comics? Because I never have.
Yes.
Okay. I've never read any Black Panther comics, which is not uncommon. I pretty much read the mainstreams: Spider-Man, X-Men, Superman, Batman, but a few Fantastic Fours, which is actually where Black Panther comes from. I'm pretty sure. But it was a great movie, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll put it up there in my top 5 Marvel movies to date. So it was really impressive. It was a lot of fun, which all Marvel movies are. But like I said, it has this like James Bond's kind of feel to it, especially in the beginning, and then also this like Spider-Man fun, full of action, like the newest Spider-Man, fun, full of action, and like kind of a great story. The thing that drives the movie is the acting. This is probably the best acted Marvel movie, hands down. The whole cast is incredible. It helps that the story is great, and that the writing was great, and it was pretty original. There's definitely not your typical MacGuffin where you're looking for this stone and everyone's trying to get to it. It's really a fight and battle over the crown, or the throne of Wakanda, the hidden city of Wakanda. So
is it setting it up for the Avenger movie coming out?
No, it does not. It actually takes place immediately after Captain America: Civil War.
Oh,
so it takes place before the last Avengers movie. So, right, Avengers 2 was that? No, I think I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember would Avengers 2 come out before or after Captain America: Civil War? After, right?
Yeah, I think it was after.
So yeah, it takes place immediately after, and they tell you in the first minute of the movie that it takes place immediately after Black Panther. Captain America: Civil War. So it's the struggle to get the throne after his father dies in the Civil War bombing. So it takes place right after there. So it goes back in time a little bit. It's pretty awesome, man. And then Michael B. Jordan, who I've been a huge fan of since Friday Night Lights, does an amazing job in this movie. There's times where you are kind of thinking that you almost wish his character would become Black Panther. So Black Panther, for anyone who doesn't know, is kind of like the person who's the king of Wakanda. They get that suit, and they're the protector. And he is the bad guy in the movie, but you're almost rooting for him in a lot of scenes, and you're kind of like, wow, like he'd be an awesome superhero. Like I kind of wish he was the star of the movie. Just because the way his character's portrayed and what he's fighting for, and you kind of understand it, and then at the same time you're very torn, which is different than a typical superhero movie. Normally, there's the good guys, there's the bad guys. In this movie, you're kind of like, wow, I don't know whose side I'm on at this point in time. I get where they're both coming from. I kind of want them to resolve it and be happy together. But it doesn't work like that. Eventually, it all gets figured out in the end. But it's a great movie. I totally recommend going to see it. Definitely going. It's also a beautiful movie. I mean, artistically, graphics and the CG that's in it is pretty flawless, but the overall shots and everything are amazing. So definitely recommend going to see it in the theater if you can. Go see it in IMAX if possible. I didn't see the 3D, but I never do, so I don't know how that came out. But seeing it on a big screen is pretty amazing. But yeah, overall, great movie. Definitely go see it while it's in theaters if you can. Worth the money, worth the time. Take the kids. It's very friendly. And that's really that on Black Panther. Are you watching anything else, Dave?
Ooh, so the Olympics have been on. So some of my shows, like, 'cause I like watching.
Shout out Ben and Tim.
I like I like watching Bull and Kevin Probably Saves the World, which I just found out that
didn't that get canceled?
I hope not. Did it?
I thought it did. That's why I stopped watching it. That is a great show. It's a really funny show.
But did you know that's John Ritter's son?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he's a really good actor.
Yeah, I had no clue he's a really good actor. But since I haven't been really watching any of my regular shows, I watched a sci-fi show, which kind of got sucked into. It wasn't that great, called Ghost Wars.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, don't recommend it. But Meatloaf was in there. The singer,
No, he's not. Meatloaf, the guy who has like the 18-minute song about paradise.
Yeah. So that was interesting. But like I said, a lot of my regular shows are not on because of that.
Yeah,
but,
that's the annoying part about the Olympics and everything gets pushed back and is on hiatus. So there's nothing you can really do about that. But it's a good time to catch up and binge watch. I caught up and binge watched Arrow because I hadn't watched any of Arrow since right before Christmas. So I got to catch up in the last like 4 or 5 episodes. So that was pretty sweet. I guess it hasn't been canceled yet. I guess I just assumed it would be canceled.
I thought it was doing good, so I'm not sure. I don't understand how the ratings work as it is, but
well, yeah, that's true. I mean, it has basically, for anyone who hasn't seen it, what's his name? I know his last name's Ritter.
Jason.
A meteor comes down and crashes into the earth, and he goes and touches it, and apparently he gets chosen, I think accidentally, by angels to help save the world.
Find righteous people in the world.
Right, he's got to find righteous people to help save the world. He's been chosen to find the righteous people. But apparently, it's not necessarily going to happen. He could ruin it all and destroy it, and the world could be destroyed. So it's kind of up to him, and he's kind of this I don't want to say useless, but washed up, Wall Street exec, and his life was going to crumbles, and then he moved back in with his sister to help make his life a little better, and after his sister's husband died. So he's kind of a mess, and it's kind of trying to make the world a better place from this guy who's a mess. It's a really what's the word? It has a lot of heart. It's a really nice show. It's it's uplifting. It's definitely a good break, especially when everything seems to be either about politics or issues going on, and you try to, I don't know about you, but I try to escape from that. That's why I'm watching a lot of TV. That drives me nuts. I think you said the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great show to watch, and it's just, there's no politics involved, so you get that little break from it. I try to really stay away from shows that have politics in it. I just need that break because it's on so much. Yeah,
totally understand. It's a nice escape. Well, that's good. I'll have to binge watch that and with the rest of the Olympics. Though, make sure you tune in to see, Tim and Ben in the ice dancing. Who do you think lifts who? I know you don't really know Tim and Ben, but if you're judging from their voices,
so I would have to say Ben would lift
Tim.
Yeah,
I would see, and maybe it's interesting that you say that because you don't know them. I know them, and Tim is significantly taller than Ben, so I would think that Tim has to lift Ben, but I don't know what Ben's doing. He's probably put on some dad pounds, so I'm guessing that he might be heavier than Tim. I haven't seen him. I don't know. But you get that dad bod going on. So he might be the one that's lifting Tim, but it might make sense either way. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. I didn't really listen too much when they were talking to me. It was really funny. I'm surprised that they let me do this episode by myself. Ben, I just assumed would release no episode, or an episode that was completely without anybody talking, and said that was his take at trying to make a quiet place type episode where nobody talks and it's way more creative and artsy. So it was the best podcast episode ever. It's just 25 to 35 minutes of complete silence. But he was like, no, if you can get someone to host with you, go ahead and record. So that's what we did. But I really appreciate you coming on, man. I'm glad that you listened to the show. I really appreciate that, and I hope you enjoy it. And please, I hope you come on again.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on here.
Right after we get off, there will be a nice review of Peter Rabbit by Tim's girls. All 3 girls give their reviews of Peter Rabbit and what they thought about it. it's kind of hysterical actually. It's kind of kids say the darndest things, but a Peter Rabbit review. They're really. I don't know too much about kids, but his kids are kind of cute. So I'm guessing I don't know if they're all that way or it's just his, but you can be the judge of that.
Okay, what's up, everybody? It's Tim, and I'm sitting here with one of my twins, Emery. Emery, how old are you?
6.5.
6.5.
I'm in
what grade are
first
you in?
grade.
First grade. Okay. Now, Emery got to go see a movie. I didn't get to see it because I was doing something else, but Emery got to go see a movie with her Grammy and Papa and her sisters and Mommy. What movie was that, Emery?
Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit. So, we just thought it would be fun to ask the girls what they thought about Peter Rabbit. So, Emery, what was your favorite part of the whole movie?
When the people got zapped and they zoomed into stuff
Okay, they got electrocuted?
and they zoomed back and they unplugged it and
Yeah.
the pig fell
Uh-huh.
onto the table.
Did anybody die from that? Because that sounds dangerous. No? Oh, okay. So I have another question for you, Emery. What was the story about? Can you take the whole story of the movie and kind of shorten it up to just a few sentences?
It was about a little rabbit.
Okay, Peter
His
Rabbit.
name was Peter.
Yep.
And he loved going one garden. It was someone else's garden,
Yeah.
and he thought it was his.
Oh, uh-oh.
And he almost caught Peter, but only
Oh, the neighbor
yeah,
whose garden it was.
but only his coat.
Okay. In the end, was everybody happy? I mean, was everyone sad? What happened?
They were scared
Oh, okay.
because two people wanted to buy the house and
Okay.
and they saw the pig fall to the table.
Oh no, and they got scared. That's funny. So what was your least favorite part of the whole movie?
When the guy when the guy threw bombs at them.
He made actual explosives, and he threw them at the animals.
But
were any
none
animals?
of them died.
None of them. So no animals were harmed in the filming of this movie. Now, my last question, Emery, because we gotta interview sissies as well. My last question is, what do you think about this whole controversy surrounding the sequence where the animals try to poison the neighbor because he's allergic to berries?
Um,
Do you think that's controversial?
he does this and he does this and he does this. I don't know what it's called, but he grabs something out of his pocket.
Oh, okay, medicine. Oh, like an EpiPen.
And then he fell down when
Oh no,
got up again.
Okay.
And he was beat up with bear.
he's
With
beat up.
lots of fruit and
So vegetables. So do you think overall? Do you think because of all the violence in this movie, is this a movie for kids and for families? Okay,
it's very funny
it's really funny.
and
Okay.
hilarious.
All right. Well, thank you, Emery. Thanks for being interviewed. And next up, we are going to interview Emmeline.
See you next time.
Okay, so here we are with Emmeline. Emmeline is also one of my twins. Emmeline, how old are you?
6.
6. And Emmeline, what grade are you in? What grade?
First.
First grade. All right. So, wait, you're the same age as Emery? Oh my goodness, that's crazy. All right. So, Emmeline, what was your... First of all, let me ask you, what was the story of the movie Peter Rabbit?
Well,
If we could take the whole story of the movie and kind of shorten it down to just a little bit, just like a few sentences.
well, the rabbits were trying to get some food.
Okay.
And,
And was that the whole movie, pretty much?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rabbits were trying to get some food because they didn't have any food.
Okay. Okay.
And a mean guy, like
The neighbor? A new neighbor, maybe? Or an old neighbor?
an old neighbor, just like didn't let them get any food.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Make sure you speak up, okay?
And then his grandson
Oh,
moved into that.
is not his grandson? All right.
No, his
Not
grandson.
really his grandson. We were confirmed by the judge of Mommy. Okay, so that was good. So, Emmeline, what was your most favoritist part of the whole movie?
When they get at the end, when they like settle it down.
Everybody settles down.
Yeah.
Everybody calms down. Peace. Everybody's at peace. That's funny.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So, Adeline, go out. I'll interview you next. Okay. So, Emmeline, what was your least favorite part of the movie?
When the guy was the McGrady, the old neighbor was being mean to the rabbits and not letting them get the food.
Oh, at the beginning? Okay, out. All right. So one final question, Emmeline. What do you think about the controversy surrounding the fact that there's a sequence in the movie where the animals try to poison the neighbor because he's allergic to berries? Is this like a controversial thing? Is it good? Is it bad? Are people upset? Or was it funny? Or was it really sad? What do you think?
I can't decide.
You heard it here, folks. Emmeline can't decide. Mixed feelings. And that's the dog. All right, so that was Emmeline. Awesome job, Emmeline. Now, next up, we are going to sit down with our youngest, Adeline. And this is going to be fun. That the whole time?
No.
No, okay. And then, so I'll just ask you some other stuff, all right? Okay, what's up? We are here now, finally, with Adeline. Adeline is our youngest. Adeline, how old are you?
5.
5 years old. What grade are you in?
I'm going to be going to kindergarten next summer.
After the summer. After this summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Adeline, you got to see the movie Peter Rabbit. Did you enjoy the movie?
Yes.
Okay. What did you think the story of the movie was about?
The rabbits were trying to get the food because the mean old neighbor didn't let them, and they poisoned the old neighbor, and it fell down. And then the animals got, and then that truck took it away, and then they had a party.
Okay, so they had a party because then what happened?
And then a new neighbor came
Yeah?
and got the house.
Was he nicer than the old neighbor?
He was trying to keep the rabbits away.
Oh, okay.
The new neighbor was trying to get the rabbits away too.
Okay. Interesting.
But one of the buddies kicked a blackberry into his mouth, and then he fell over, and then he took medicine, and then he got up again.
He got up again? Okay.
Yeah.
So in the end, was everybody happy? Was everybody sad?
Close to the end, that guy go to do his job again.
Okay, cool.
And that's the end. Bye, everybody.
Wow, okay, whoa, hold on. Not by yet. What was your favorite part of the movie?
It was when the rabbits at the end of the movie, the rabbits got those two persons to get away, and they electrocuted the boy and the girl because of that.
The girl too?
Yeah.
Oh no.
No, not the one.
Oh, other people trying to buy the house.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then
That was your favorite part?
The person saw that the animals were having a party.
Okay. Okay, what was your least favorite part?
When they were trying to get the house, the food.
Okay. Now, question, because you mentioned something that is quite controversial on the internet.
It's...
What? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
So, you mentioned the part where the animals try to poison the man by kicking a berry into his mouth that he's allergic to. What did you think of this? Was this a good thing? Was it bad? Was it funny? Was it sad? Was it mean? Was it hurtful?
It was silly.
Oh, it was silly.
Yeah. And it was very funny.
Okay, silly and very funny. Overall, it was really funny?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. All right, thanks everybody. This has been the Gruber Kids review of Peter Rabbit.
Guys, follow us on social media on Twitter, twitter.com/3criticspod, Facebook. Hit the like button and subscribe, and you can get all of our updates, anything we talk about in the show, we post about. So that's facebook.com/incrediblecritics. And then don't forget to go on iTunes, leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. That really helps us out. Until next time, guys, this has been Incredible Critics. Welcome to another edition of the Incredible Critics podcast. Incredible not because we're great, but because our credibility should seriously be in question. Ben and Tim are not with me today. My name is... I messed that up. I can't believe it. I should just roll with it. Ben's going to put that in the end, and I'm going to be real ticked.